My previous film before Concerning Violence was the Black Power mixtape, and that was based on our archival footage and with new recorded sound and music and graphic and so on. So and it was quite a, by my means, it was a success. Uh, and I got really nice opportunity given from Los Angeles to me, and I was really considered them because the last thing I wanted to do was another archive film. And then I happened to be in a meeting, and a person, the publisher of Frans Fanon, Wretches of the Earth in Sweden, gave me the book Wretches of the Earth as a gift. I read the first chapter of Wretches of the Earth on a cafe, and then I moved to another cafe and skipped the book, everything in the middle, and read the last chapter of that book, and I was equally blown away with that. So I decided to make a film, take up the cinematic challenge. How do you transfer a non-fiction book into some kind of cinematic work and keeping the book feeling? That's why we have, and they are actually fake chapters, and they have a preface, and it's very, it's I think, and we have the graphic on screen. So for me, this film was all about the text. How do we promote these ideas and this text? Because I think they are so important to us in our time to try to understand what went down the last 50 years, or before that even, and what challenges we have today, and what are laying ahead in terms of structural violence, oppression, robbery of minerals and natural resources, and the robbery of labor and the injustice of the world.
It is evident that what defines one's place in the world is the fact of belonging to or not belonging to a given race, a given species.
So the first thing was me to have the text, and I wanted to have contemporary images from today, because I think the text spoke to me about today. But then I was afraid that it would be too specific. If you saw something from Nigeria, Sudan, or Pakistan, or whatever, you will think about that situation today. And I wanted more timeless piece. So I was even contemplating animation to make it more like to get the mind going. I was even into having a total black film with white graphic and Miss Lauryn Hill's voice, right over it. There is no difference between working with images that you shot yourself, or you planned yourself, or animation, or fiction. They are, in the end of the day, you're editing them, and is it working? Yeah, and it's no other than a process of writing a text. It's hard work, because what you see is your problem. Oh, this doesn't work, and you have no solution. In the moment you have a solution, you skip to the next problem. So every day when you go home from work, you trouble, because you have a problem and you have no idea, that's for me at least, how to solve it. Will it work? And of course, the big challenge, the challenge of film is the attention of the audience, that you lock people in this room and this screen and this sound. It's not like a book where you can put away for 5 minutes or something. You have the full attention, but if you're not delivering you will not have the attention anymore. So you have to be very precise in holding the audience to your story. First we worked on the text, just editing the text. That was the biggest work to me, and then putting that together in relation to certain images and try to get it work. Because what you are fighting is boredom. People go, no, it's boring. To me, you don't have to be entertaining, but you have to be interesting all the time. And that's why we have, I'm not saying we succeeded, but we have those fake chapters. So people, because there is no narrative in the film, so to give the audience some kind of you know, oh, we're moving on. That's great to know. You know, oh, that was quick, and you know, do. So when you read a book, you know approximately how much it's left. You know, so that was one trick to make the audience, you know, get into the film. Also, I learned this from Ingmar Bergman. You have to have, no matter how serious and you know, and sad your film might be, you have to have one laugh, and that laugh, you know, you have to give the audience some comic relief at some point. And it's not only about comic relief; it's also about creating this space, which is the cinematic experience. Here is fun. Here is the ultimate sadness. He's slow. He is fast. He is high. He is low. You know. So you try to make as big space for the audience to move around in their mind while watching the film. So the only laugh in the film, I think, is 1/3 into the film, and we give the audience some hope that, you know, maybe this would not be so sad and tragic, but it will be. But yeah, those kind of things. I'm very very organized because it may sound like false, humble, you know, trying to be humble, but I'm not really intelligent. I'm not well educated, and it's not like I dropped out because I had more fun things to do. I couldn't get the grades. I couldn't go into university, and my memory is not so good. So I have someone to, you know, transcript every word in my material, and I have to print out every image, not every image, but every image of important to small cards or photos, and I glue them together with tape and glue and scissors on a table or a floor. That's usually kind of fast for me. So then I go to the editing and have this collage of images and different sound text from could be the written text in this case from Fanon and the sync text, and I mix them together. It looks like, and then I move them around, and sometimes I have to reprint them because I've cut too many, you know, too many scissors cuts into it, so you get almost three-dimensional. And I have this on the wall with glue and blah blah blah. It gets sticky. And I always try to say them afterwards. This I do with every film, to make a collage of the film, but they are destroyed by the time the film is finished. But so they are more like a ball of quotes from different persons. You know, if on a good night when I have everything and I read it and I mark it, and then I have to have scissors on, you know, different places in the room, and a bottle of you know, cold white wine, and some music which is not ambient, but you know, yeah, a certain soundtrack, and then I just and I go and I could edit a feature film in one night. Yeah. The music I play now, you know, it's ridiculous. Sometimes I download or rip DVDs that I bought in the store, and take away the dialogue from Breathless by Godard, and take away the dialogue, and I just have the music. And if you become my friends on SoundCloud, you can get into those. So yeah, no. Oh, wow, what did we listen to in this? Philly Soul is always like the backbone of this. Yeah, 70s Philadelphia soul. That is not. It can't be disturbing in the way, you know. It has to be, but it has to be with the feeling. So yeah. The documentary method is a process that you have a strong relation to your subject before, during, and after the filming. But it doesn't have to be filming. It could be a book or a radio documentary or a photo, blah blah blah. But having that relation, so you have a relation to someone, not because you want to make a film or something out of her or him or that, but just a human relation or some kind of relation. And then you discover, oh, this is a film, and then you have a relation during the film, and then you have that afterwards as well. That's what makes it different from all other processes in creating stuff. The only thing that is interesting to the world is the unique images they could produce that no one else could see or understand, or And in the beginning of your career, it's very easy that you try to mimic famous documentary filmmakers in order to get hold of the thing and understand that process.